That was pretty good.
That was a great video. Your video team did a really amazing job of making my hometown seem really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I have actually never seen a physical therapist. I guess I consider myself blessed, no injuries.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
But that kind of made me want to hurt myself, and so I could come to your office. Seems like you have a really nice staff.
Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah.
Physical therapy is one of the, I think, one of the health professions left where you're spending an inordinate amount of time with one person. You know, up to an hour 3 times a week is just a lot of time to spend with one person. So it's a really interesting niche in that way.
Yeah. Well, and I understand that you have a lot of different locations. I think I have 23 locations.
Yeah, since the video, we've opened 2 more, so it's...
Oh, 25, see?
Oh, well, it was 21 in the video.
21 in the video,
now.
yes,
Yeah,
23
so you're
now.
right. Yeah.
I swear my listening skills are not where they need to be, but I'll work on that. So tell us a little bit about some of the lessons you've learned running a multi-practice location, you know, multi-practice business with 23 locations.
You know, be ready to make mistakes, be transparent about them. A lot of, I think, common lessons you hear as thinking about this question. And, you know, for us, growing wasn't because we necessarily wanted to. It's a solution to, we needed more leverage with insurance companies, and we needed a way to solve kind of flat or declining reimbursements. But that only works if, you know, you can take advantage of economies of scale and you're getting more and more efficient. And what I found really interesting is how much communication silos actually prevent innovation, efficiency internally. So just this constant effort of breaking down those silos. So you have clinical staff who are super comfortable talking with clinical staff, but really have no idea about how to talk to or what billing does. And that goes for IT, that goes to marketing, that goes for office managers. So you have all these communication silos, and to ask them to be on the lookout for efficiencies and to, you know, question processes is really unfair if they don't know, okay, well, who's the expert on this, right? Who do I reach out to if I want to just be curious about something? So if you don't build those communication bridges, but you're expecting to like constantly get more efficient, which is the only way to do it and really get your bang for your buck with growth, you know, that's not going to happen. So we've put a lot of time and effort every quarter into breaking down those communication barriers, and it takes a lot of intent to convince any human being to like take the initiative to talk to a stranger, right? And when you get to rural, you know, you're asking them to talk to people they'll never meet in person. And you're talking to somebody about something, you know, they don't know anything about, so they're already cautious about it. So it takes a lot of, and it can be super fun. Like we do these things called rainbow missions, and they're just rainbow because I like to color code and they're very colorful things.
Sure.
And they're like quarterly tasks. I'll give the departments that force to complete the task. You have to interact with other departments in certain ways. And tearing down those barriers is a way to get efficiency that you really can't unless you're really proactive about it. And people really understand, oh, I'm curious about this. I know I can email Catherine in this department and I know nothing about it, and there will be no judgment there if it's a dumb question. Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Talk more specifically about how the AdvancedMD technology has helped your employees to operate at their full capacity.
There's a lot of technological things I'd get into, you know, from the custom templates to the collection modules. Weirdly enough, the first one that comes to mind is not technological. It's like a short answer would be Francis. It's a person.
Francis is great. Who's Francis? She's great.
Well, and I mean, you know, anytime you're encountering a problem or you have to learn something new or there's a bump in the road, especially if it has to do with EHR, which we really rely on, but we also don't have a lot of control over. So there's a lot of anxiety with that. A lot of people's first reaction is, you know, frustration, panic, intimidation about something new, you know, questions about it. So if you have somebody that you trust that's going to be an active listener and get things done. If you were a fly on the wall and you knew nothing about our business or an AMD and you're just listening to banter and the way we refer to Frances in our office, you'd honestly think she's a staff member of our company, not of yours. So I think that's just like,
she might feel that way too.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh, we reach out to her way more than we should. But it's like, oh, Frances said she's going to call us at 3 o'clock with an answer, right? Just that kind of casualness of talking about her, and to have a tech company and the anxieties with clinicians that it comes with, to have a person we can reach out to and have that exchange of trust. Like, we do beta testing stuff with AMD. We would never do that if we didn't have that person that we could really rely on and trust to get that done. But on the tech side, a big thing for us would be the power of the billing software really lets me be very predictive with budgets. For a lot of reasons outside of our control, healthcare cash flow can be, strangely inconsistent.
Sure.
This insurance company's computers are down. This regulation's changing in January 1, which hurts quick growth. But if you really use the software and the collection modules right, you can spot problems really quickly, and I can know a de novo clinic's break-even point pretty exactly. I can know what my budget is for the next 6 months, regardless of the normal ebbs and flows, to really grow pretty quickly. And especially for PT, the customized templates really help my staff be efficient, but also give them an opportunity to have a lot of say in their workflow, which they appreciate to no end. We take a lot of students, and the students get trained on a lot of the other EMRs, and then when they come and learn ours, they're like, wow, this seems something like the PTs develop, the clinical staff, and it is. It's like they helped develop our templates, and then we designed them, and everybody really appreciates that.
On that, when you think about onboarding either a new therapist or a new billing staff member, how do you help them adjust to AdvancedMD? I mean, some people come in and they have preconceived notions, or they've used other software systems that they have an affinity to. How do you help acclimate them to the product?
Onboarding, especially non-clinical staff, it's the first day's video day, right? Because you guys have some great videos, and that's what we know. It's like, okay.
Don't you think our videos need some raps?
Some raps? Oh, yeah.
Like a little rapping in the videos? Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
It'd be something, right?
It'd be something.
Something is good.
Something is good. It'd be a good icebreaker. It's a video day, but and then we know we can. There's a whole slew of staff we can call to help answer their questions, just to get them caught up to speed, even before we really start the training. But on the clinical side, just the appreciation for, and it's not just the templates I've already built. I had a PT that was shadowing a surgeon, and the surgeon's like, I'm going to start these SI fusions, and to do them, I have to have a screen, because I have to send that screen off to the insurance company to get auth and stuff. And the guy's like, okay, what's the screen look like? And he ran him through it. And he came back and told me about it. And literally within a week or two, we had built that screen in AdvancedMD. We went back to that surgeon and it's like, look what we built in the software. This is the screen you told us about. We can do this, we can ship it out and help you with this process. And he's like, great, here are all my referrals. So having that flexibility is super important to how, especially as private practice, we're reacting to the market.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I think the ability to customize, like you've said, to meet your own needs is a huge plus.
Yeah.
Talk a little more to me about, we've got billing integrated with scheduling, integrated with our electronic health record, integrated with practice management, and then also patient engagement. And I understand you use kind of that whole end-to-end workflow platform. How has that helped your locations?
So the first way goes back almost to my first answer, because all of a sudden, a marketing person can jump in and see some metrics and stuff that are really more relative to a different silo almost, but they can have a conversation on those things. So it helps me break that down. So, all those metrics are really available, right? And it just helps an understanding from everybody's perspective on parts that they don't normally understand. But I think also the integration in terms of metrics have allowed us to spot problems easier, potential problems across the board, whether it's from communication from patients and the feedback we're getting or billing, but it's also allowing us to pull metrics, and we're talking to insurance companies and saying, look how well we can monitor what's happening in our clinics and the quality, and having conversations where they'll actually steer patients to us because of that monitoring, the metrics, that we're able to pull out of the software, because it's increasingly part of their cost-saving mindset is somebody who's taking that extra step to really fully understand, from the first idea that we're going to get a patient and they're kind of kicking the tires of who should I go to even their discharge, to even follow-up emails that we can automate with certain diagnosis codes through into AdvancedMD, to say, hey, it's 6 months, how's that back problem doing? Here's some ideas at 6 months with your problem that you should really think about. When we can approach employers or insurance companies with that kind of integration across the experience, it ends up being really appealing.
Yeah. So this totally off script, but I do have one more question for you, and then anything you want to share as well.
Yeah.
But my last question for you is, if you think about someone who's brand new to AdvancedMD, not having never used the software before, and they're going through, I like to call it the trough of disillusionment, right? Implementing a new system is really hard. And so if they're going through that, what would your advice to them be?
It's really hard.
Coming.
And yeah, right. Genuine. The first thing is get everybody involved in the implementation process in the same room, and just go ahead and set the expectations that things aren't going to go exactly how you want. It's an advantage to have a really strong communication pipeline, to the software. Make sure that team's talking to each other. When they get frustrated on this one thing, somebody else might have a solution, but you won't know that until they talk to each other. But also, talking through that frustration gets you quickly in the mode of solving the problem, rather and past venting about the issue, right? And you want to get to that step as quickly as possible. Having that open lines of communication, and setting that expectation, just like assume things aren't going perfect. Let's discuss the process of how and what we do when things don't go well, and how we communicate, ends up getting your people in that mindset very quickly, instead of the intimidation, frustration, panic mode, right? You want to get them out of there, and so preemptively having that conversation ad nauseum, and even practicing it, as silly as that sound, I found it super helpful.
Very good.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share?
Let me think.
We could talk about hockey. I know we.
Yeah, we could. I mean,
love
it's Penguins season openers.
That's right.
And I'm pretty excited about it. An appreciation. I personally did a shout out to Frances, because she's been huge. The beta testing stuff is actually pretty fun. And I would just say about Evo and about this process, because we've been here 2 or 3 years now. Our favorite part is the communication with the programmers and the engineers, and talking about the future, but also having them walk through our processes and redesigning new processes. I've been to other conferences like this, and the transparency of AdvancedMD is actually pretty breathtaking and pretty awesome, like the people we get to talk to at this event. So I'd really take advantage of that, because they'll show you some things and some workarounds you've never thought of.
Awesome. Well, we really appreciate you being here today. Let's give a round of applause to Simon.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.